Well, good morning, everybody. I'm out here in the park. I brought my kids out here to play. Where are they at? They're probably over there eating cookies. There they go. See them, but they're over this way. Yeah, they're eating cookies. Basically, today we got up this morning and we went out. I mean, we probably started like 7 o'clock, and we passed out flyers this morning. Everybody knows that when it get to the dry season, things start to slow down a little bit. Obviously, it's still summer, so they don't come to a complete halt with lawn care. Junk removal, like I said, you guys know I'm a junk removal company, so I do junk removal also. But that doesn't slow down too much. You still get calls for that. So that's kind of my side thing. I know there's a lot of people that wonder like, man, you know, what do I do? Because I'm not being able to cut as much grass. You got people calling you and they'll say, hey, I don't need my grass cut. Um, it can definitely dig into your pocket sometime when the season gets a little dry. You know what I mean? When you got a little drought going on. Obviously, you can look at the clouds and see that we're due for some rain though, so that's kind of good. But it's been about, man, almost 3 weeks and we haven't got any rain at all. So I just had some tips for everybody. Um, you could take it or leave it. You know what I mean? This is not something that's out the Bible or anything. I just want to share some of my tips. Obviously, me, I do junk removal, so I do have other things to do, as far as myself. But if you're just a lawn care provider, um, some of the tips I would say, um, first, I would say start. When there's a problem, I always think that you should start from the beginning of the problem. And we all know that you can definitely run into a dry season in the summer, throughout the country. And the first thing that I do, and I remember watching a Geek the Freak video a long time ago, and he had said, always front load your season. So when it's April, and even some parts of the country, like in Florida or other parts that are in the South, possibly even late March, you want to literally get as many customers as you can. I mean, get it to where you're almost to that overload point where you can't even handle, you know, you can't even handle it almost. I mean, you want to be able to handle it, obviously, but get it to where you're just, you're max out. So where, when the time comes where it starts to slow down, like, when the actual real summer hits, you're out of that rainy season, you're in, August, stuff like that, late July. When it starts to slow down, it'll kind of be a little relaxing feeling, actually. You'll be like, okay, maybe this day, 2 people, 3 people called me and said I don't have to come, so now I only got to do, 21 yards, or I only have to do 18, or whatever your schedule is. But if you front load your season, and that's something I found to be true when I heard Geek the Freak say that, and that's where I learned it from. That's the first, um, I would say, defense for running into a dry season is to make sure it's front loaded. Make sure you got a lot of work. So when they drop off, in a way, it's kind of a rest or a relief. You know what I mean? And that's the first way I say. Now, obviously, there's other ways too to to deal with having a when you have a dry season. Some people won't agree, of course. Most people don't. But I found this to be good for me, and I found also other big time lawn care providers do this, and it helps. Um, a lot of people will tell you stay away from the 2 week yards. This is why I don't stay away from 2 week yards. I used to say, man, I don't want any 2 week yards, but I actually do, because sometimes when you have a lot of 2 week yards, obviously if you price them right, you have to price them right. I mean, if that yard's $30 that you do, or it's $40 that you do, well, if you're going to obviously do it every 2 weeks, you want to charge more. I mean, that's obviously up to you. You might charge $15 more. You might charge $20 more because it's every 2 weeks. That's up to you. But what that does is in the dry season, the 2 week customers, most of the time, this is what I've got in my area. Most of the time, whoa, it's getting dark up there. Look at that. Most of the time, the 2 week customers will not say, don't come cut my grass as fast as like a 1 week customer will. And that is because in that 2 week period, you have more chance of it raining than you do in the 1 week. If you understand what I mean, you just do. You have more of a chance. And also, the grass has more time to grow versus coming just 1 week every week. So that's obviously a strategy for you. Another strategy is he heard the horn beep, but it wasn't me. I didn't beep the horn. That's my cue to tell them to come on. And you beep the horn, so they thought he was. So those are a couple things just to think about. You know what I mean? To help you get through. And there's a million more. I had some more stuff on top of my head, but I did lose track when I seen my son running down like that, because I thought maybe something happened or something, but he heard the horn beep. But basically, like I said, you just gotta be creative. And those 2 week customers, I think they help out. They really do. Every week customers, we know they're the best. We know that. But when you get into this drier season, the grass doesn't grow as fast. Sometimes it's not raining, and every 2 weeks you have more time to cut that grass. You have more of a time for it to rain, and usually the grass has a chance to grow a little bit. I would say the third way. Okay, I wonder what he wants. I didn't beep the horn, Legend. Yeah, you can. When I beep the horn, you can come. Okay, I didn't beep. That wasn't me that time. That was somebody else. Okay, it's not raining hard yet. So back what I was saying, I'll give you one more tip just so you don't think that I don't absolutely know nothing. There's another tip, is to try to get into subdivisions that people water the grass like crazy. They got, really good, they fertilize, they really take care of their yards. That's another good tip too, is to get in those subdivisions. And if you get into those subdivisions, you'll find out that it doesn't matter if you're having a drought. Those people water the grass all the time. They had good sprinkler systems, and that's been also a strategy that I've seen work. Do I use that strategy? Honestly, no, I don't. I have some people that do water the grass, obviously, and they always call me, and I always come out and cut the grass no matter what. But that's not a strategy that I use. But I think it's probably the most effective out of all three I've given you. But because, like I say, I do junk removal, so I don't really just cut grass. I got people calling me for helping them to clean out their garages, or cleaning out basements, or just the yards to be cleaned out, things like that. So, and I obviously don't have a whole lot of overhead, because it's not I'm not a big business. I don't have a whole lot of helpers. I don't have a whole lot of trucks. I only have 2 trucks, and pretty much 1 truck is the work truck. So I don't have a lot of overhead, so it doesn't kill me when it slows down, because I have the junk removal, and I don't have a crazy overhead. I don't have a bunch of bills, I don't have any. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't go to clubs, bars. So I don't have a lot of different. Only thing I do is I eat too much. That's about the only thing I have. So those are just some tips, but like I said, the most effective one I think is to get into to subdivisions where people water the grass and they take care of it. They fertilize, they have a weed and fertilization man. They have a good irrigation system, and that's good. And like I say, the second one would be to get 2 week customers. You know what I mean? Because those customers are gonna want you to still cut the grass a lot more than somebody that's only having you come once a week, because the grass has more chance to grow because it has a better chance to rain in the 2 weeks, and then also just the overall more time, and so like I say, that's and like I said, the last one, like I said, that I mentioned first, is to make sure you front load your season. Make sure you're absolutely as much as you can take on. So when it starts to drop off a little bit, people are like, you don't have to come this week. It doesn't kill you. You're just more or less like, okay, I get to rest a little bit, you know what I mean? And because like I say, it is difficult, I know, for some companies to continue when you're missing out days when I mean the average, you go out and cut grass, you do 20 yards plus. I mean, I can easily be from $500, $700, $600, no problem in a day. So to miss those days like that, it can definitely be devastating. So that's the tips. That's my tips I have for today. Like I said, I'm out here and I can feel the sprinkles are coming down. We're supposed to get some rain, so we won't have that problem. This grass is definitely going to grow. Look at the sky. They're supposed to do this all weekend. So if you like the video, you like the information, subscribe, and everybody enjoy their day. Thank you.